Nope. Nope.
Mamma mia!
This is Jason from Retro Gaming Asylum. Welcome to Game Masters.
All right, everybody. It is Wednesday, and it's time for another Game Masters. Boy, we were having some issues. Like the rain came over to your area. You know, it's because it's Wednesday. It's time for show, right?
That's how I know it's Wednesday, because it's always raining.
Storms
or
and rain
windy,
and
storm, whatever you name it.
fortunately, not in my area, but where you're at. And then YouTube took forever to connect. I don't know what was going on tonight, Brandy, but it just seemed like I hit the connect button and nothing connected, and then we finally got it going, and all that stuff. So anyways, we're here. People are still filtering in, so we'll do like we normally do. I see Chase is back. He's back. He wanted to make sure his presence was known. He's over here hanging out. Who you got over in your chat over there?
Yes, we have quite a few people already. We have the Germ in here, and of course, everyone's already asking for pizza.
Oh yeah,
we
the
have
Germ.
Retro AF. We have Growlbound Gaming in the chat. Neo Ness. Chase is over here as well, and he's talking about bringing the Wonder Ball chocolate. So I remember those. Then we have 90s Gamer Person. Ain't Dead Games is over here.
Oh, Sean finally made it for an opening of the show. Imagine that.
Yeah, we have
Nice.
Ted Adam Green in the chat. We have Tangela Tube and Quest of Today. So we have quite a few people joining on in. Definitely excited to see everyone in here tonight.
Yeah, and then he just decided to grace us with his presence. We've got Daryl, which Daryl sent me something really, really cool. And I didn't do a video on it. I need to do a short on it. Because it's not warranted, Brandy, for a full-fledged maybe I'll show a little bit here on the show tonight because I know you got some pickups and stuff. So I have his Tanuki Mario down here. I got to get it sent out to him. I'm just so worried that it's gonna break, and I've been waiting for a box from Amazon to fit it in, and I got one that was too big. So I'm gonna kind of jerry rig something to send it out to him. Hopefully by Friday I want to get it out to him, but I know he's waited with bated breath for this thing.
Very nice. Yeah, that'll be exciting to show what you got and share it with everyone.
Yeah,
I think
it
if it's the thing you told me, definitely exciting.
Yeah, so leave Sean alone. He's crippled. He's not crippled. He just plays one on TV. Don't listen. Don't listen to that guy. He just plays one on TV. He's not crippled. I'm just messing. He did have surgery a couple weeks back. So, I don't know. There's a piece of the news I want to get into real quick because we didn't get to talk on it last week, and I think it came out, or the news on it came out afterwards. But we'll get to that in a minute. I heard through the grapevine that you actually might be going back to work next week.
Get out of here. No, I recovering from the surgery, and I'm going through physical therapy, and I have some upcoming appointments, so we'll have to see what happens next, but I'm just taking it one day at a time. That's all I can do. Hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best. That's always a good thing, right?
Yes.
So we got that. He's in there having a ball. All right, so let's go out onto the news. In that news, we'll kind of announce what's coming up. All right. So coming up, we have at the end of this month, we will be going. Where are we going, Brandy? You're coming to Ohio. I know that much.
I know. I'm like, where are we going? You're staying where you're at.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Ohio.
Well, I am going somewhere. I mean, I'm going like about 40 minutes from my house. We're going down to Stone Age Gamer.
Yes.
And we are going to have a good time. We're going to go down to Andy. He's got a bit of a surprise. We showed this last week. But they're opening what looks like it looks like a diner of sorts, right? Like a hangout 80s, 90s retro diner.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be actually going out there and hanging out and all day checking out. Well, that'll be your first time in the store, Stone Age Gamer. And then we're going to be over there at the other event. And there's going to be pizza. So I don't want to hear anybody's excuses. Like, you all could come out and get some pizza.
Pizza, have a good time, get to see us. I mean, it's like a win-win.
What more do you want? What more do you want, right?
And I did actually see something that I want, but I know it's not for sale most likely ever. But it is something that is true to my hometown that I remember from back in the day, and he actually has one in his store. And I would totally trade my like Mike Tyson's Punch Out sealed standee and cash and some other stuff.
Oh,
crazy!
What caught your eye from his store? I enlighten me.
So I remember this. So I don't know if you saw it when you first went in there. But do you remember seeing the big Sega sign that's out front in the window?
Yes.
The Sega City, Baltimore, Maryland.
He won't get rid of that.
Maryland.
He won't get rid of that.
I know.
No.
But that is actually something from like my hometown because I grew up in Baltimore. That was at the Golden Ring Mall area that they used to have in the Sega City. That's the only thing that I would absolutely 100% want that I saw so far.
Well, he also has a Vectrex kiosk that's at the front, but I don't think he'll sell that either. That's an original kiosk.
Yeah, I know. I've seen those pop up, but the Sega City sign, there aren't very many of them. I think there's only like a handful. But that is pretty cool. It would be neat to bring it back to Baltimore,
Yeah, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. I'd be surprised if he would do that, but hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
One day, I'll just like give all my stuff for that.
And I believe there's like some kind of convention going on this weekend, the 15th through the 17th, out in Cincinnati. There's like a gaming. I don't want to say it's a toy convention, but I think it's like a gaming convention.
Gaming Expo or Cincy Expo?
Cincy Expo, because this guy right here will be walking around the floor. Yeah, Mr. Mysticles, he'll be out there. So you make sure if you're in the Cincinnati area and you're going to go out, he'll be there all weekend. Walking the floor, buying things, selling things. Who knows? But the man Mysticles, he'll be out there, and so there's a lot of conventions are flying, and Brandy, the weekend after Stone Age Gamer. So you'll go home for a week, then you'll come back. You're going to Columbus this time. Me and you will be at CorgsCon, and we'll be debuting the brand new. Should we call it the Game Masters Experience? Should we call it that?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But it's better than what you guys are thinking. So if you guys are in the area, I mean, look at me. I'm coming back again a week later. So if you guys are in the area or can make the trip, I promise it will be worth it, because we have something crazy that we're doing and that we're showing, and you guys have never seen anything like this. We're like literally going all out, and we will have pizza. So like,
hey, a lot of crazy things have happened, and I think Chasen is the only one, because he's doing a convention. He's one of the only people outside of other convention runners that know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty cool. Gonna ask about getting you guys to the Utah Expo. I frequent the shop of who hosts it and talk to the owner regularly. Yeah, we'd love to come out. It might not be. I don't know when is Utah. Is that in a couple weeks? If you can get that done in a couple weeks, if they're gonna to have us out, because that would be, we'd have to get some things rolling. Want to make sure we have enough time to get off of work and stuff, because you'll be going back to work as well. Retro AF says, I'll be there if there's pizza. CorgsCon is the weekend of June. I think it's the 6th and the 7th, I want to say it is. Is that when it is, Brandy? The 6th and the 7th?
Okay, Utah Retro Game Expo. Is that it?
Yeah, but no, I mean CorgsCon first. That's the first weekend of June.
That's in August.
That's the 6th and 7th. Oh, Utah's not till August, so we got plenty of time. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Korg is shortly coming up. It's just a couple.
Yeah, Sean said it was in August there. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple weeks away.
Mystically says he'll also be at Korgs, so we'll have a bunch of people. Yeah, no, I mean August. The only one in August that we have is Merge, and that's at the end of August. I think it's the last Saturday in August, so we'll be out in Kalamazoo, Michigan for that.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of stuff coming on, but that's not the main news subject. I wanted to bring this up as a topic. We don't usually do news, okay? That's not something we do. But because this, I think, is near and dear to Brandy's heart, being the Nintendo 64 collector that she is, I wanted to bring this up. Star Fox for the Switch 2, this comes out, releases on June 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm showing you guys the digital from Nintendo.com. I wanted to see what your thoughts are, because from everything I've seen and everything I've read on this is basically a graphical update for the original Star Fox on the Nintendo 64. How do you feel about this? Do you think that they did, by doing this as a remake, or do you think that they should have just went with a whole brand new game, brand new experience to really promote the Star Fox brand? As somebody, if I'm not mistaken, you were a big Star Fox fan on the Nintendo 64.
Yes. I think it's a great idea, because this kind of like gauges interest out there to see like what they need to, I guess, revive and revamp and create anew. I always like when they do remakes, remasters, re-releases or whatever they're doing, just because it is cool to see it. And a lot of the games, it'll definitely like bring back that interest from that nostalgia standpoint, and then it can get like a new generation And I think that's a lot of fun because if this does super well, which a lot of people are hyped by it, and then of course with the movie, people are hyped by it. It's like it would be cool to see more. Like obviously I want more games and I want newer games and stuff like that, but I think it's great that they're kind of honing in on some of those retro collectors as well because it's just cool. Anything new I like.
But how do you feel though? Because they have brought out other Star Fox games on the Wii, the Wii U, and you know, I think the GameCube, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they all seem to be replicas of the original. There hasn't really been. Is that fair to say that they haven't been like original games? They've been like kind of remakes. Does that bother you? Like, because I guess from my standpoint, it bothers me. Okay, I'll be frank about it. It bothers me because I see like Breath of the Wild comes out, which is a remake from the Wii and the Wii U, right? So then you've got other games that they're bringing out, Zelda Wind Waker and some of these other ones, this Mario 3D World and because that was on the Wii U. We're only getting a small handful, and rumor is the second half of this year we're going to get a boatload of new titles, but it seems like more and more they're doing remasters of the game or remakes of a game that was already created. Maybe I'm just being an old grumpy man about this, but like that bothers me. Like it's like how many times do you have to like? I would think you'd want to reinvent the series, especially with this newer generation, by creating a whole brand new game. Maybe am I wrong in thinking that?
No, I mean, I understand that too. Like, I would obviously like to see more and see newer games and see new releases and go in a whole new direction. Like, I would love to see that. But at the same time, I don't mind them doing this. I just wish they could do both. You know, like, if you're going to do some remasters, boom, give us something brand new as well. Like, that would be ideal.
Let's see here. They're saying in the chat room, I'm not a fan of the new Star Fox. There's already interest, just gives us something new and not something that should be on Nintendo Online. Sean Ain't Dead Games says, this would be the third release of Star Fox 64. I am done with remakes. Time for a new one. So he agrees. Excuse me. And what do we got here? Ted's saying, I really don't understand the whole remake remaster games. Seems we're getting way more of these than brand new games, and that's my point, right?
True.
It's not like, not to bring up the Neo Geo AES Plus, but let's bring that up for a second. It's not like we're getting remaster after remaster after remaster of that. That's something 35 years in the making or 30 years in the making. This, we shouldn't be getting this. You know, I think they should have created a different type of adventure, a different type of, I don't know.
Well, what if this is like a little teaser and then the second half of the year or next year they're going to drop a brand new thing? Would that all be okay and worth it if they did that?
I think so. I think it would be, to the hardcore fans, it probably would be, but like, I don't know. How many, Daryl here, grumpy old man. But how many of you guys in the chat? Let's take a poll. How many of you guys in the chat room are Star Fox fans? Can we put like a 1 in the chat room? If you are a Star Fox fan, or you were a Star Fox fan back in the days of 64, like, I mean, this was a game you had to buy. Like, this was the be all end all. This was like the bee's knees. I can't honestly say that was for me. Like, I could care less about Star Fox. I really could. It just it doesn't resonate. Now, will I buy this? Probably, because I'm stupid. No, I think
it is. I think it is cheaper, right? People are saying it's like cheaper than the normal release.
Yeah,
like it's $49.99 for a physical.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, the physical. So all right, so we're getting it's like a split here.
Someone put 3.
Somebody put 77. I don't know what that
The
means,
germ.
but okay. But there was, I mean, considering how many people are in here, how many people watch the show, how many people, like, there's not too many ones. I guess that's what I'm getting at. I counted 5 or 6, right? and then everybody else is posting like 2, 3, 7, 7. So I'm going to take it as they're not really a fan or they don't care. Would you say, based on looking at the chat room, that you'd say it's kind of split 50-50?
Mine have more ones on my side. 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, but
1,
how many
1,
of them
1,
say
1.
not interested at all? How many of them said 77, 3, 3? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones, and you don't count.
Oh, I was counting mine.
Oh, no. So I see, not counting yours, I see 5.
6, 7.
All right, it was 6, 7. Yeah, there's 6, 7. And then Daryl's got one in my chat room, so that's 8. But if you look at a lot of the people, they're like, I could do without this. I mean, it's a rail shooter. I mean, it looks fun. Don't get me wrong. It does look fun. It looks better than the vector graphics that we had on, I call it upgraded vector graphics that we had on 64. But what about you? You're a 64 fan. Will this ruin the original experience for you?
No. Because it was so, like, some of these games, it's like so long ago that I've even played them.
That's a good point.
I've played them again, like, as I recollected, but even then, it's probably been, like, several years, so this will be fun.
Oh, Retro AF says, his 77, that counts as a 1. Okay, my bad. I gotta get the lingo down here. We got Daryl.
Get your eyes checked, okay?
Apparently,
clearly, it says 1. Clearly.
Apparently, he must have did that new math stuff in school. What do they call that?
Yeah, that thing.
Like where 1 + 1 = 5. Is that that's what the kids do now? And if you could explain why 1 + 1 = 5, then you're right.
I'm sure I could figure it out.
Right. I don't know. I'm split either way. Now I could end up buying this game, Brandy, and fall totally in love with it when I was not a big fan of Star Fox. Yoshi's Book is one that I'm really looking forward to, and I hate to say it, but 007 is one I'm really looking forward to. More so than Star Fox. Like if you said pick 2 out of the 3 games that you're excited for, those are the 2 games I'm excited for.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I think I'll buy it for the Switch too when it comes out, and I'll probably actually play that one right away.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see what your thoughts are. I'll probably get it when it launches too. Adam says, I love this show. Not going to lie. I want a Wave Race 64 remake. You know,
that'd be fun.
I'd be okay with that. I don't think I've seen a Wave Race remake. Kind of like a fresh coat of paint on a game that I love. You know, Wave Race never gets the love that I think it deserves.
I feel like there's a lot of games like that. Like even like F-Zero, like
that
game like needs more. Like there's so many games that were so much fun that need more. They need more love out there.
Yeah, okay, so if you're looking at it like a fresh coat of paint, yeah, I could see that. I like these types of games though
that would play well, look a little bit better. Like a lot of them would do really well if they came back with more of those titles.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to look at it from the standpoint like okay, Nintendo, your system has been out for as of June 5th, 1 full year, the Switch 2. And I could say we had on one hand, right, of brand new original exclusive games. That's not too good. Yeah, Daryl, I would be excited for Indiana Jones. It's a great game. It really is. If I didn't have it for the PlayStation 5 already. If you don't own it, this is a game you should buy. If you have a PlayStation 5 and a Switch, buy it on the PlayStation 5. I can't speak on Switch because I don't own it yet. I'll probably end up getting it, but it's kind of at the bottom of my list right now, Brandy, because I've had it for a while for the PS5. Great game. It really is. I can't say enough about it. I mean, I still haven't finished it. I've gotten pretty far in it, but it is a really good game.
I've seen a lot of people talking about it recently, like sharing some things. So very nice.
Yeah, that would be a game. to pick up. So I don't know. I just thought I would bring that up kind of in the news because we didn't really get to talk about that last week. With just because there's a lot of chatter right now, especially with the AES Plus, with the Neo Geo.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's hard. Like if you're on the travel, you're on the go. Well, then get the Switch 2 release of it. But I'm with Mr. Gretzky here. He said 007 looks amazing, and the gameplay I seen on the Bond Experience YouTube channel is great, and it might be one of the best Bond games in a long time.
Very nice.
I'm with you, Mr. Gretzky. That's a game that I've been looking forward to. We got all excited a couple weeks ago because I thought it was out, and I was like, my kid and I saw it, and I was like, can I get 2 copies of 007? And they were like, it's not out yet.
Oh.
And I didn't realize it because it said GameStop had them under new releases, but somebody looked at the case and stuck it back under new releases. So I was like, dang, they got it early. Well, yeah, they did get me because I was like, dang, it came out early. I was like, yeah, I want it. I get on and play it and stuff.
They were probably there watching the whole time, just
probably laughing, stupid YouTuber.
This old man.
Yeah, this old man. What's he doing in the game store? Yeah.
That's funny.
But the other thing I'm kind of concerned about here in the interim, and again, not trying to go down doom and gloom. You and I kind of talked about this, is where gaming conventions are right now in the news, right? A lot of the gaming conventions we're talking to, people are like, tickets just aren't selling right now. People aren't, heading out to gaming conventions. Do you guys think that this has to do with where we are in economics right now, with everything being the cost so high? I mean, Brandy, do you foresee like all the conventions that we're going to be at this year being on the lower attendance side than what they've been at for the last couple of years that we've been?
I mean, I would like to think that they wouldn't be, but at the same time, I do realize, like, even around like the pandemic, that affected a lot of things with certain conventions. Election years, they do affect things with conventions. Higher gas prices, that does impact things. When groceries were up, like, people, they look at these events like a whole experience or like a trip or a vacation a lot of times. Like, when you do go out to these conventions, if you're not 100% local, you have to look at lodging. So you got to see what hotels, Airbnbs, Verbos, or whatever those places are called, motels. Are you going to room with people? Are you going to share something? The gas, the travel expenses, food, which you'll have food regardless of where you're at. Whether you're at a convention or you're at home, you're still buying, and spending money towards food. But it's just like people try to turn that into some sort of trip. But I don't know. Sometimes we do see like shifts in things. Some years are better than others. And I really hope that things continue to go up. You would think that each year the conventions would do better, go bigger, have more attendance. But I think things are a factor.
This comment right here is the reason I brought this up. It's almost like he read my mind on that. What it is, Neo Ness, the man, the myth, and the legend when it comes to Neo Geo. Retropalooza here in Dallas, which is something I wanted to go to when Billy was still alive, is going to be their last one in the Dallas area. And I believe this is the only convention, one of the few only big conventions that are in that Dallas area. The rest, you got to go up to like Arkansas to Retro Rick's, which I think is about 5 hours from the guys in Dallas. Are we going to start seeing this more and more, Brandy, that different conventions are going to close their doors like Retropalooza did? I mean, do you think that?
I mean, see, it's hard to say because like we've talked to convention runners, and we're not going to name any names or say places or anything like that.
No.
Some we've been to and some we haven't, and they've told us things. But some have said that they've lost money the past few years. Some have like completely lost all their money. And, when you go into like these lost years and you have, tens of thousands of dollars tied up and you're going into debt over this stuff, it's like, does it mean that you keep trying to like dig out of that, or do you just put an end to it? So, I'm just kind of curious myself on which ones are going to stay around in the next 5 years, 10 years. I'd love to see more pop up. I'd love to see one here in Maryland, you know.
Well, you can see right here, admittedly, well, he was talking about us coming out to Utah, but he said, admittedly, I'm sticking to local this go around because of the cost.
Yeah.
I've gone to other places before, but yeah, you know, it's cost. DG jumps in and says, lower attendance this year with gas, hotel costs, and everything else getting ridiculous. I booked one night for Siege since I'm not staying. So, I mean, you know, there's that going on. And then, you know, I saw Mr. Reggie. He's over here, the digital collector. He's here. We see he's getting rid of all. He's going to be going all these conventions, guys. He's going to be selling all his physical games so he can get digital. Digital Radical Reggie. No, I'm just kidding. It's just an inside joke, guys. Don't worry about it. But I think that more and more, I think we're going to see that. I really do. I think we're going to see. Now, Ness said, I don't know if you saw it, but the Houston Retropalooza is going to stick around. So I don't know much about Retropalooza. Because I've not been to one of them. Have you been to any of the Paloozas?
No, I wanted to go. I heard one is better than the other. And I don't know if the one that's closing was the better, bigger one. But I know one is the one to go to. But I don't know which one.
So, Ness, which one was the better one to go to? Dallas or Houston? Is Houston more like a small one, or do they do like a spring-fall version of it?
One that's better.
Radical Reggie says, the console I wish I collected for sooner is probably the Neo Geo. But this November, that problem will be fixed. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a little bit.
A lot of people.
You know, I was going to mention that, and then I thought, nah, it's a cop-out. That's a cop-out response. So I had to go with something else. So we'll kind of go with that. Daryl's saying Dallas one was the better one to go to, in his opinion.
Okay.
Anybody else, you could chime in if you've been to any of the Retropaloozas. Let's see here. DG saying I have family in Arkansas. So that's the only reason I went last year. I had a place to stay. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have went. I mean, I can't say, you know, somebody's wrong for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got these long-running gaming conventions like Midwest. Midwest is... What did they just celebrate? What their 15th year? Is that this year? Their 15th year? Was it 15?
I know it was a milestone, but I can't remember what. And then there's like quite a few that are going to be hitting like 10 years. There's some that have been around for much longer. It just depends. I think it depends on the area. It depends on the convention center. Depends on where they're hosting it at. Did those prices go up? Is it easy or challenging for people to get to? And, you know, I think there's a lot of factors in it. Like, the best place or best convention could have one of the better years, but depending on location could be everything. Depending on parking situations, the costs of everything. Some hotels are way more expensive, and you're getting a roach infested like place, and you're paying the same amount as like a 5-star immaculate place.
And don't forget parking. State. They're double dipping. They're hitting you with parking too.
Yeah, it just depends. I've paid super cheap at really nice conventions, and I've paid really expensive for places I'd never go back into. You know.
So Neoness says, from what I hear, Houston was the bigger. Dallas one was a pretty big one too. They moved locations from Arlington to Fort Worth. It just felt different, he said. So, yeah, I mean, those guys, I mean, they have, I mean, Texas is a big state. You know, to only have 2 conventions, you know, it kind of makes you wonder. But, you know, we talk about, you know, these guys coming out and driving out. So you got to take that into consideration, right? Better question is, which game console do I wish I never sold back in the day? That's original Xbox, but you'd be lucky still. We're going to get into that here in just a little bit about that. I stay in the bougie hotels. Oh, okay. Everything's so expensive, man. So expensive. All right. So let's get into the first part of what we're talking about tonight. And that is what game system. Let me actually get the correct wording for this because we had it. What gaming system or console do you regret not collecting for sooner? Oh, Brandy, this is a loaded question. Who did you say that originally gave us a suggestion?
I thought it wasn't it Growlbound Gaming. I thought it was
Grailbound. It's your fault.
I'm pretty sure because I know we went off the list. We love when you guys send in what topics and ideas because then we go back through our like running lists and we just we think on it for a minute and see how we feel. So if it was you, thank you for that,
bro.
I blame you.
So Reggie he's like, Tech Buzz is about the Motel 6. Man, I don't know anybody that's about a Motel 6. Let me just say that. I'm surprised they're still in business.
Yeah, they're banned over
Man,
here.
We were actually in a nice. They had us in a Hilton. I won't say what convention because it's not the runner's fault. Myself, my kids, Game Dad, and Square Pegs. They must have changed their room like 3 or 4 times. We changed our room twice. We found things in a room that's supposedly supposed to be clean at a Hilton, nonetheless. That I was like, yeah, I ain't sleeping in this room. Like, I know. So we had to switch rooms. So, yeah.
I had to switch hotels or motel, whatever it was. I had to switch it because
that was bad.
Oh, it was like after midnight and I opened the door and she's pushing me in the room and I'm like, I'm not going in there. Like the bed wasn't made. Like someone was obviously either still in there or they had checked out and they had never cleaned the room.
Oh.
But it was like yellow sheets, like yellow, like they were clearly white, but they had like yellow and brown spots on it. And there was like food crumbs everywhere. And I didn't even want to turn on the light. There were like cigarette butts and everything like in there. I didn't even want to turn on. I just walked right out and I was like, well, I guess we'll sleep in the car. Like it was that bad. And then we had to find another place like late. And it was pretty bad. I do not recommend that.
DG saying never will stay in a Hilton. Yeah. I
do love the Hyatt. Their beds are so comfortable.
Isn't that where we stayed up for Torg? Was the Hyatt? Isn't that where they put us up? I think they put us. The Hyatt was nice. If that was the Hyatt, that was a nice hotel. Yeah.
The bed is so comfortable. If you have back issues, I recommend that bed. It is the best bed for that.
So I'm going to start, Brandy, with this. The system that I regret collecting for when I was growing up. I'm not going to talk about now. I'm going to talk about when I was growing up. Would have to be 1, the TurboGrafx 16.
Mm-hmm.
2, the Atari Jaguar, and 3, the Nintendo Virtual Boy. 3 systems that KB Toys had on fire sales. Like I remember going into KB Toys and them selling the Virtual Boy for $5.99, brand new. The games were like 50 cents a piece.
Jeez.
Fire sale clearance, and my parents were like, "You don't want to buy that. They're not making it anymore. It's going to be useless." And I hear them saying that, and to this day, I'm just like, I should have bought it. I mean, nobody knew, but my point was, those 3 systems are the ones that I regret, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So I didn't have a Neo Geo growing up, and I didn't have an opportunity for a Neo Geo, right? So to say I regret not collecting for that when I was growing up, it was still expensive then. What about you?
I would say maybe like the Sega Saturn, because I grew up playing that at my cousin's house, and I have some of their games that they gave me, like some of like the childhood ones that we played. But I would have really loved to discover a little bit more, and I feel like the prices just kept going up. Obviously Neo Geo, a lot of people are on that hype still, but I do remember seeing quite a bit of games like way back when I first started collecting, and then I stopped seeing them. So like maybe if I started a little sooner, I could have had like even just a handful more games to kind of experience that. And then one thing that I always kick myself, I went into a pawn shop and I saw some Sega Saturn games. They had just taken a game in the back, and it was stadium events. And they came out with it from the safe, and they said the person like pawned it or whatever they did, but they were past their deadline. So I had an opportunity to buy it because they like put it up to get money, and then they didn't come back for it yet. And they wanted, I think, like $1,000 for it. And this was like years ago when I started collecting. And I was like, who would pay that for a game? I was like, I don't even want to spend more than $50 on a game. And like, I still kick myself because I easily could have, I think I sold my motorcycle at that point and I had some money.
Wait. You had a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The things are over here. Oh my goodness. She's a biker babe, folks. She's a biker babe.
I had an 883 Sportster.
Wow.
Harley Davidson. You know why they call it Harley Davidson? Because you spend hundreds of dollars on everything. Literally. But no, I like just sold it at that point because I was like, I was over that phase or whatever it was. And thinking back, I wish I would have bought that game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting. Radical Reggie. Yeah, I was at Torg 2 years ago. We had the big broadcast booth across from you and Jason and Brandy and everybody else that when the Halo people were there. Because Torg didn't do anything last year. They did like their little sale things that they did. Wanted to answer that. So now Elliot's saying he wished he would have started his Neo Geo journey sooner.
Okay.
So Elliot, I want to ask, since now the Neo Geo is pushing forward and it's coming out, are you regretting that you sold some of the Neo Geo games that you sold? Now I know there was reasons that you sold them, but is there a little bit of regret in there? You know, I'm just curious. Oh, you were doing real life Excite Bike according to CC Games.
That would have been. I wish it would have been fun like that. Definitely not as fun. There are a lot of people who are not very safe on the road.
Think of the Harley you could have got by selling a copy of Stadium Events now. Yeah, true.
I know. I'd have to because I am short. I'd have to bring the handlebars in, lift it a little. You know, I would be able to get all the bells and whistles on it.
Here we go. And this is something. And I'm not ragging on the guys, but if you guys know that the retro gaming pandemic, Jared was up here, and so was Thomas from Millennium Collector, Ohio. Both of them, when we were at Stone Age Gamers last week, Brandy said that they regretted selling certain items. I'm not going to get into the items because I'm not trying to make the people that bought the items feel bad, but they regret selling some items. And this is why people have asked you and I don't sell things really, unless it's duplicates. I don't get rid of things. My wife will tell you I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to certain things. And I know you've been accused of that as well.
Yeah.
But this is why. I mean, I already have enough regret of the stuff I sold as a kid. I don't want to have the regret twice of selling something, right?
Sorry,
that's because you never sold anything as a kid, right?
I'm reading the comments. No, so I did, unfortunately. I sold some things over the years, like my GameCube. I remember trading it in for $6 at GameStop. And I had, because I wanted to get a Wii, so I sold it. I got $6 for the console with the cords and the controller. I sold my Kirby Air Ride. I sold Mario Kart Double Dash, Sonic Riders, and probably a handful of other games just to get a new Nintendo Wii. And then I ended up selling the Wii years later, and then I ended up buying one back again. I remember going through because I wanted to get the next console, and we didn't have money like that growing up to where we could just throw whatever. I remember saving and doing jobs and working and doing chores and cleaning people's houses and cutting the grass and doing all the things shoveling snow, doing all those things just to save up for some spending money on games and stuff. and systems, and I remember selling them to get the next console. But the only one I didn't sell was my Jungle Green Nintendo 64. And I think it's because I packed it away in a tote bin and tucked it in the basement, and I forgot about it. And then same with like some other things. Like I just forgot about that stuff. So I never sold that, and I'm so thankful that I didn't. But a lot of the things I did sell just to get the newest next console and games. And I wish that we weren't like in a financial position. Like I wish we had more money so that I didn't have to do that.
I think all of us, to an extent, have done that a time or two. Like even me, when I was growing up, we didn't, just like what you're saying, my parents didn't have the money, right? So we had the Nintendo, and then when we started branching out, my brother got the Super Nintendo for his birthday. But then what we found ourselves doing, Brandy, is we weren't going to sell the Nintendo games, but we found ourselves like the only way to get a new game was we had to sell some of our older games, right? Mm-hmm. And so we did the same thing. And then when I went to college, I had a bunch of the retro games, and even then, things were not as pricey as they are now, but it was enough that I could buy college books. Like I remember selling my old Nintendo Game Gear. I had a few Nintendos that I traded for from people, and I ended up selling them so I could get college books, when I was in college. And at the time, that was priority. And then when I was in college, Brandy, I had the Jungle Green Nintendo 64 because I got it from a yard sale that was in the area, believe it or not. And to this day, I still don't know where it's at. It's somewhere. Like, my wife said we never threw it out. So
where is it?
It could, like, we had this wicker, it looked like a wicker trunk that we used as a footrest / we would eat in front of it in my college apartment because it was so small. Like, you could be sitting on the couch and be in the bathroom at the same time. It was that small. And I'm not joking. I'd have to show you guys pictures, but there was enough room that you could walk in front of this wicker basket type thing, and behind it were the couches. I think it's on top of the garage, and it's underneath the eaves. That's where I put it when we moved in. And I think it's inside of there with some of the cookbooks that my grandmother gave me when I moved to college. So I'm wondering if it's in there. I don't even know what games are in, if I have it, but I didn't want to get rid of it. So I do have somewhere that Jungle Green N64.
Huh. That would be a fun little venture to try and find that.
Yeah, that would mean
Sounds
I'd
like
have
a
to
lot
get
of work.
like a lot of the old studio stuff is up there. Like I have a box probably as long as, I'll have to find the picture, but as long as my bar top here, like where you see where I have like my 3D prints and stuff, of wires that's probably about 3 feet deep of
So it's
in the
behind
box.
that.
So there's boxes like that up top, and I really need to go up there and just throw that stuff out because I'm never going to use it. They're old wires; they'll never be used again. Standard definition wires.
Yeah,
it's laziness for me to go up there, and it's hot up there in the summer, and it's cold up there in the winter, and so it's just kind of like you kind of forget about it.
Yeah, I got some places like that.
Yeah,
you just put stuff there and you forget about it.
You forget about it.
You have 8 Wii Fit boards.
But you remember, like when I was in college, Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, they were all in their prime. Like I used to go down there and buy used video games when I was in college because it was cheap. That, if you remember, they would get new games in and they would take the rentals that they had, and man, Brandy, some of those rental only specific carts that I could have got, that I might even had at the time, and I didn't know it because we didn't know where collecting would be today.
I know, but then at the same time, you gotta think of it this way: if we all knew what we know now, none of this stuff would be worth anything because everyone would save everything. It would be like Beanie Babies. Those were marketed as collectibles. People thought they were going to be. So everyone kept them.
Yep.
Everyone thought they were going to be worth something, and they're not. Hate to break it to you. They are not. So that's how games and stuff would be.
So my sister collected Beanie Babies. So you're saying they're not worth anything anymore?
No.
Dang.
That was a retirement plan, right?
Oh, no, not for me. I when I was growing up, I'll tell you what I collected, and tell me, guys, if I'm wrong on this, because this is something I regret collecting. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards. I regret collecting them. I had a big collection stemming all the way back from 1982 I had a few good rookie cards in there, like your Troy Aikmans, Emmitt Smiths. I had some good Joe Montana cards, some Dan
Are any of
Marinos.
them worth anything?
Well, that's what I was getting at. So what I found out when, like, I had about 8 giant boxes. I probably had like 10,000 cards. Okay, in the over 30 years old, 35 years old. I had them over there in the laundry room. My wife goes, "Well, since you're collecting video games now, do you think maybe we could find a buyer for this baseball card? Like, Daniel doesn't want them. My son has zero interest in sports. Zero. He'll play basketball, but he doesn't watch it. He doesn't watch baseball, doesn't watch football. He watches the Stanley Cup if the Penguins are in it, he would watch it with me. Zero interest in sports at all." Okay. So we took them, and I found out through the collectors that the 1990s through the early 2000 cards were mass produced, and they are worth about as much as your Beanie Babies. Everybody collected for those card sets and everything like that, and it's worthless. Like, you know what I got for the whole stack of cards that I had? $150 in credit, because they had video games and stuff there too. I had a box with all my valuable cards in them, and they said the only way that these are valuable to anybody buying them is if they're graded, and they have to be centered perfectly and all that stuff. Yeah. So they said if you want to grade them and come back, you probably get a lot more money out of it. That's a big regret. You're
spending all that money on the grades. You're wasting your time. You're putting in no guarantee.
So I took the $150 in credit and gave them all the cards.
Jeez. Yeah, because I have like one of those like big long boxes. Yep. And then it has like rows in it, just full of baseball cards that I just saw the other day in the garage. Yep. I haven't looked in there. I don't know what year they are.
If they're 90s, which they probably are, they're probably worthless.
I'm curious now.
And I'm not saying that to be mean. This is something I found out. It's like Reggie saying here, that was a bad investment. He's 100% right. But we didn't know. As kids, like my grandfather was like, "Oh yeah, I had all these cards, like your Ty Cobbs and your Honus Wagners that are worth like $30,000 to $40,000 cards,
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they used to get them in like tobacco, and they'd get them, they were like little pictures and stuff. And I said, one day my kids are going to buy a house with these. Yeah, right. Because that's what they were telling us. Like, you want to collect baseball cards, you want to save them. They're going to be worth money, and that's a big regret. I regret ever collecting baseball cards. I wish I would have kept my video games and sold my cards. That's what I wish.
Yeah, but if you live with regret like that, it's like, you think of it and that, like, you live and you learn things from stuff like that. That's kind of how life is. Like, they say that everything happens for a reason, whether it's good, bad, whatever, and you wouldn't be where you are.
No, I know.
Blah, 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 blah.
But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, it's just, it's just one of those things. All right, we're gonna shift gears here, and we're gonna take a break. We're gonna get into our pickups. We have a few things that we got this week, whether we picked them up or somebody sent them to us. We're going to show those, and I'm going to have Brandy go first, but we're going to get into that. And then we're going to get into what we're playing this week, and then we'll kind of get into our community. We actually got a community video from our buddy Ted, who's in the chat room, about what he thinks his biggest regret of not collecting sooner is. So we got a bunch of stuff still planned. Stay tuned. Let's check this out.
Hi, this is William Jackson from Millennium Flashbacks. You're watching the Game Masters on YouTube.
We normally do all this, the pickups, and get into what we're getting. So Brandy actually brought some stuff over, so I'm gonna turn it over to her. What do you got this week?
Nothing. No, I'm kidding. I was a little bit more prepared this week. So I actually just got this in the mail today. So I will be making a review video because I'm super pumped about this. So there is someone in the Vectrex homebrew community that everyone knows. And this right here actually came from them. So this is a new game for the Vectrex. This is Vec Ribbon. So this is kind of like, from what I gather, it's made after, I think, is it a PlayStation game? Pretty much you're on like this set path and you have to like follow the beat or follow like the music, and you either have to like go up or down or something. I don't really know yet. I haven't played it. But like from what I gather from it, it looks pretty cool and it looks great and sounds great on the Vectrex. But it just says, Liv, the ladybird, was going for her daily stroll in the garden looking for some tasty stuff for breakfast. Heard an unusual sound coming from her person's window. The beat was kind of consuming, and she found herself jumping, dipping, rolling, and looping almost uncontrollably to the sound she heard. So it's like some cute little, game. I think it'll be fun. It looks great, and anytime that they do these homebrew games, especially on the Vectrex, I think they're always a lot of fun. And then he actually had this. So Sean Kelly, I ordered this too. This is a control pad for the Vectrex. It comes in this like fantastic box. I mean, so does Vec Ribbon. It comes with the overlay, comes with the cartridge. I got the box, comes with the manual. But this right here is a controller. So this is a control pad for the Vectrex, and it says it will function properly with games that do not use analog control, which is most games in the Vectrex library. But this right here, it says auto fire on all buttons. So it's like a Super Nintendo style controller. Looks fantastic. It's brand new. It's from 2026, just like the game. The last games were great as well. And I just think it's a fantastic system. I know it's like well before my time, but I love it, and I love all the homebrews and everything else. And we had someone asking, I did actually get all my games from Japan. One came from like the UK and everything else, and this was the last one that I was waiting for. So I got this for the Nintendo 64. I now officially have a worldwide set of games for the Nintendo 64. I have the controller and console variants as well. There is technically, I guess, one console that I do not own, and there are two controller variants that I do not own just yet, but still definitely exciting, for this particular game. This is one of the more expensive Japanese titles. It looks fantastic. It's definitely a fun game to play. I added the top, sticker as well. That's kind of how I was tracking the games. I ordered all like the top stickers, so that you could get them, and when you stack them, you can like read them from the top. But just like this fun, great game. And you guys will have to stay tuned, because I will have a video kind of talking about like my journey of collecting a worldwide set, and then sharing some clips over the years. So you'll get to see some of like the terrible footage of like a recap, like going back in time, where I'm like, the microphone's over across the way and I'm screaming at the microphone like from my game room in a different game. Like you guys will see some of like the clips that led me to collecting a worldwide set, with homebrews, with mentions of some of my favorites, some of the more expensive games. And then yeah.
I'm just reading the comments.
It's probably like the lighting or whatever on this. But yeah, definitely fun to, get this stuff. I do have the 64 DD games. I don't have all of them though. So that'll be like a subset thing that I have to go through. I know I have like half of them or something. Like I have a good chunk of them. I have all the Mario Paint or whatever ones they are. I have like Sim City, F-Zero. Like I have a bunch of them already.
Yeah.
But that'll be an additional thing. So we'll get there at some point.
All right. So with me, I have a cross between a few things. Some of it this week I made because I wanted something for the game room. I finished my Game Boy kiosk, which I know you're probably sitting there like, okay, that's a kiosk. I'm gonna hang it up so we can actually play. This is a modded Game Boy that has a colored background. But Brandy, I had to print it like this because I'm still waiting for CC Games to help me out a little bit with scaling this so I could shoot it as one piece. But I printed out 4 pieces like this. I'm actually making another one. I had a few people reach out and they're like, "Hey, can you make me one?" And then I also made it like this, okay, for the game room. This is another variant, if you will, of the kiosk. I know the lights are like blowing it out. This will work with like your Game Boy Advance. It'll slide in, and even the Game Boy Color to an extent. That one's not 100% done, but that's like a 1-piece print. But one of the other things that I got, and again, it wasn't a pickup per se.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few things here, so let me readjust here so I have some room. But I was down at Stone Age Gamer, and they're going to get you a set of these too for review when you come in. But these Timebreaker light guns, this right now currently work with the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2, and this breathed new life, in my opinion, into light gun games. As you know, Brandy, we both were into that. We got those GAIM, Jaim, E light guns, the Sinden ones with the wires. These are built so much better, more accurate. The kids were actually playing these Saturday night. We're going to do some more clips of that this Saturday night. These, I think these run for about $140 a gun, and you can get gray or blue. They've got some lights on it. I did a short on it if you want to see, more in depth. But the list of games on this, which is part of the reason I need to find some of these games, is like Time Crisis 2, Time Crisis 3, Endgame, Gunfighter, Resident Evil Survivor, Resident Evil Survivor 2. A lot of these games are gun games, and I avoided them because playing these on a modern system were like a modern TV. It was like hard to do. Rumor is they are making adapters for other systems that you can get, like probably a Dreamcast or Sega Saturn or whatever. I don't know yet. But the cool thing is, Brandy, I know you had an issue with the game ones about being accurate and having things like that. I think people will see, and you'll even see on this, the far more accurate. It's more fun to play because the kids would have told me, they would have been like, "Yeah, we can't shoot with this. Like this is just impossible." So these are really cool. We have them. I'm going to 3D print a holster for the guns. They had one there, and I thought it was really cool. The next thing is my buddy Daryl. Now, he wanted one of those Tanuki Marios, but he was kind enough. Look at this. He sent me the DeLorean with Doc Brown. Check that out. I have to put that together. I haven't done that. Cool. He sent me that. But the main prize, if you will, was this. The first edition Nintendo Power. I had one of these as a kid, complete with the poster and all the cards inside, not ripped out of the magazine. And you can see it's pretty crispy for being this was from I think there's one cut right here in the cover, but you're talking $3.50 from 1988.
That's crazy.
This was pretty cool. Thank you, Daryl, for sending this out and finding it for me. He's on a mission to find some other stuff for me. So I'm going to get out his Tanuki Mario this week that he wanted. So those were like pickups, if you will, / things I've been making. Because I'm making a lot of stuff for the game room. I've had a lot of people inquire. A lot of people have been watching shorts of stuff I've been making for the game room. And the kiosks, Brandy, like who would have thought, right? You'd have a little kiosk. I think it's neat because then it looks cool. It displays well. It's functional. It kind of it's also like something like everyone wants the kiosk, but like you can't always find them. So that's like a neat little holder until maybe you find one or something like that. I think those are pretty neat. Yeah, it's a neat little trinket. But that's the kind of stuff. That's why Daryl, anytime I'm looking for something that's hard to find, I hit Daryl up. Daryl, have you seen this? He'll find some stuff, but to add to my collection, have something like that, that's well worth it. So that's what we got. So now let's transition into what are we playing? What's going on? What are we playing this week? And it's not Mario Tennis, Reggie.
Hey, this is Michael Rickard from Wildcard Video Games. You are watching Game Masters on YouTube. Enjoy.
All right. So, Brandy, I'm going to pull up what you have here, and I'm kind of curious. I have to reframe it here because it's a little bit big. Did you go on a Switch shopping spree again? What do we got here?
I did. I have a problem, guys. So this I bought for the Switch, and it's a super rare game, Cyber Shadow. A lot of people were kind of curious how it played, but if you guys watch my videos, you will see how these games play. Because usually I post the pictures and I post the gameplay, as well. Now I have not made it quite as far as you may see, like in some of the footage, but from what I have played, it is pretty fun.
It's like Castlevania-esque almost.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people say it's like a Ninja Gaiden type.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of like, things like that. But how it plays, it's a little challenging at times, from at least a few times that I've played. So I definitely want to play it a little bit more. It is up there in price. I think it's like at least $60 or so. I actually waited and someone did like a best offer, and I thought it was like a low ball offer, and they accepted it because it was opened. It wasn't sealed, but I'm opening it anyway. So I didn't want to pay for a sealed price. So that's why I kind of, offered a lot lower, because everyone was pricing them at sealed prices. And then of course, if you miss out from like super rare games or one of those, limited companies, it's like you usually do have to, pay up for that stuff. Right. But I'm enjoying it so far. I just, I need to play it a little bit more. I've been making a lot of perler bead art, trying to prep for the convention. I know some people have asked for some perlers. I still have to make a PlayStation logo and some other things. But I made some cool Mega Man ones. I made some little Star Fox, little tiny, a set of I think there's 5 or so Star Fox characters. I've just made a ton of coasters. I'm making a lot of coasters now. And I'm just trying to use up a lot of the colors, because Perler went out of business. And they kind of went bankrupt. I think another company bought it, but there's no restocks. So I'm trying to go through a lot of the colors and making those for conventions. And then obviously if I have some leftovers, I might pull them and put them in my game room, on display.
Nice. Very, very cool. All right. So I'm not just playing Mario Tennis. We've actually been playing Time Crisis 2 on the PS2. And believe it or not, this is the first time I played any Time Crisis game on the PS2. But like I said, I didn't really collect gun games because on Modern Collegians I didn't really play them. So I don't have it. So this weekend, Brandy, I'm going to be going out, and hopefully, because Andy from Stone Age Gamers let me borrow his time. He has one of the box set Time Crisis 2s for PS2. It almost looks like a big box PC game. And so he's letting me borrow that to play it. So now I got to go out and get a couple Virtual Cop and Time Crisis, the different Time Crisis ones, so I can, do that. What's the matter?
Was there loudness to that
Was
video?
it really? Was it loud? I turned the volume down on it. That must have been really loud.
I didn't put any volume on mine, but everyone's
I should have done that. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
Sometimes that happens.
I'm deaf now.
Are they deaf?
We're just
you own those games, Reggie? Is that what he's saying? Okay, as long as you can hear the game, that's fine. Anyways, like I was saying, so I've been playing that with the new guns that I got, and that's why the clip was very short. I didn't have a lot of time to grab the footage, but nice. I don't own any of those games. I don't own any of the gun games, and a lot of and I didn't realize this, but a lot of the not the conventions, but the game stores that you go to aren't buying them, and they're not selling them, because up until recently you couldn't really play these gun games on modern televisions. So you only had the hardcore yeah,
it's like an acquired taste. You only have the
not everybody has CRT.
Yep.
And so how do you play it, Brandy? How it wasn't there a for PS2, because I didn't collect a ton for PS2. I think that was right around the era I was getting ready to go to college, so I was offloading a lot of my games and stuff. But wasn't there a Virtual Cop box set with the gun that came, or was it Time Crisis? It was like a box set.
I think majority of them. I think I'm only missing like one.
But there was a box set, right?
Yeah, of many games. The big box set that comes with the gun. So they like start on the PS1, and you have like the Point Blank games. You have the Time Crisis, and then for PS2 you have Time Crisis 2, Crisis Zone. You have like a vampire game. It's like Vampire Night. I actually like that one. And then there's I'm drawing a blank. I have a few others, but they're big box. Ninja Assault, I think it is. I have the big boxes of those, and the second I saw them when I started collecting, I bought them because I was really pumped to play those games. I went on like a whole light gun buying spree, and I love them. And then especially with the Wii, I love the light gun games on the Wii because it's super convenient because of, you can play on any TV with the Wii. And yeah, Virtual Cop
Point Blank, they said it's pretty good too. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, Point Blank's a really fun one. It's like different, but Virtual Cop, I have like the box sets for the Saturn, for the what is it? For the Dreamcast.
Oh, okay.
I have, but like some of them are Japanese.
But that was the only way you could play it then, right? You couldn't play it any other way.
Yeah, certain ones you can get cheaper, like Japanese, and then same with like Virtual Cop for like PlayStation 2. Like, isn't that like a PAL region or something?
Yeah.
Like, certain ones are different regions, so then you'd have to buy a different console. You'd have to buy more stuff, and then they got black light guns for the Sega Saturn in Japan, versus we got the orange light guns. So I also have a Virtual Cop arcade machine, full size, not arcade 1-up, but like the full size. And it's like crazy to see like the controller guns that they had for the console versus for the original arcade. And then I have a Time Crisis, like Crisis Zone, arcade machine with the machine gun and the foot pedal action. So I do have a full size one of those.
Now, rumor is for that other gun system that I showed you that they are working on a foot pedal for it, but there's also a hilt button, which is a button C. So when you're playing Time Crisis, you can reload by hitting the hilt, or you can hit the A button on it to reload.
Okay.
So I mean that works as well. DG, if she's still here, might know. I got this Western game because you can play this on the PS1 or the PS2 right now with the dongles that they gave you. I'm not a fan of Thomas found this Western game where it kind of reminds me of a modern day Hogan's Alley, but it just doesn't hold up well on the PlayStation 1. I'm not going to lie. It just looks really, like the kids were like looking at me like, you want us to play this? Like, this is like the bad guy would come out next to the Cowboys, kind of like, you remember how Hogan's Alley was?
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to shoot the Cowboys on this one.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of it, but it was a $10 game. I mean, it was.
Yeah. You can't beat that. I mean, just for like a quick little fun something.
Right. It was mainly to try this out, right? So, it was mainly so the Time Crisis ones I want to get. I want to test it more with. I'm going to get the list on the back of the box and go to the exchange this weekend and see what games I can find for this that we can play and put it through its ringer, because I don't want to just play it on one game and be like, yeah, this is the review. I told Andy I want to play it on a bunch of different games, right?
Or you save it for one of the conventions or something. I mean, that's several weeks away, but if you can't find them at your local store,
right,
maybe make that like a little.
We'll find them at the conventions.
The collection there.
It might be Game Fighter Jesse James, DG. Man, I almost want to run to the other room and get it. It's really, it's got a brown cover, the cowboy and everything. It looks like he's by the swinging doors in the front. I forget. I'll be honest. I didn't really pay much mind to it because they found it, and Thomas is like, "Oh, this will work for your guns," and I was like, "Okay." So I just bought it. It was it was $10, but it kind of reminded me of Hogan's Alley. It really did. It reminded me of Hogan's Alley, but she might be close with the Legend of Jesse James or the Game Fighter Jesse James. I'll get back to you guys on that one. I'll put it on Instagram. Gunfighter, is that what it is? Gunfighter.
I'm pretty sure I have that too. But I think that was one I also glanced over. Because it didn't look as good as some of the other ones. Like there are some that are just like okay, but there are some that are really fun to play.
Yeah, let me pull this up. Oh, thank you. I had my delivery here.
Mad Dog McCree games too.
Oh, I have Mad Dog McCree for the Panasonic 3DO.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if this. I'm pulling up the image here to see if that's it. Oh, you guys. Here, talk to him really quick. I'm gonna go get it. It's bothering me now.
All right. What are your favorite light gun games? No, I always love the House of the Dead. That's like always a go-to. And then obviously it depends on like which console and stuff that you play it. But there really are, like, especially for the Wii, you have like those chicken shoot games, like, and then there's like 3 or so different ones. I don't even know. They're just like odd titles, but they do have some really good ones as well. Like not like as kiddish or simplistic. I like the ones that, they may be cheesy, like the House of the Dead, but I love something about how like the enemies and stuff look in those.
This is why she's called the PlayStation girl, folks. She was 100% spot on. Gunfighter, The Legend of Jesse James. She was 100% on. I just remember what the cover looked like, but if you guys know, it doesn't, for kids and stuff playing it. I'll pull up some. It really didn't hold up. Let me pull up the image here. And see if I could show. It really didn't hold up. The kids were just kind of like, you really want me to play that type of thing? Let me see here. So you guys can kind of see the footage here.
Yeah, like, would you rather play this or would you rather play House of the Dead? You know?
That's not bad. Sorry, my daughter was asking me to try some. So, right, you guys didn't like that PlayStation 1 game. This one, the Gunfighter Jesse James one, where it was moving really slow. Not the one that you guys were playing Time Crisis, where you were playing 2 players. This one.
Yeah.
No, you played it over there on Saturday. They don't remember. She doesn't remember.
Yeah, see, it wasn't even memorable for that.
They just wanted to go back. They wanted to go back to Time Crisis.
Yep.
Let me skip through all this crap. I thought it was going to be good, and I think Thomas thought so too. This looks a lot better than it does on the PlayStation. And then my PlayStation 1 wouldn't produce sound for some reason. So I don't know if it's an original PlayStation, so I got to hook up my other one. But this is kind of like Time Crisis, where you got to duck and you got to shoot like this. But look at them. It doesn't hold up. They all look like they're.
I don't know. This is making me want to go back and replay it again. I think I glossed
You and I would play it, but I'm talking about the kids. The kids didn't want, like, they were just like, this looks awful. And it's really slow compared to like a Time Crisis.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to zoom it in so people can.
Looks like a blast. I'm going to go back and play mine.
I see what you did here. A blast. Da 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 da. Like, I mean, I would play it if it looked a little bit better, but I also was playing it on an LCD, a 60-inch, and it was making it look really distorted. I'm with DG on this. I want to play House of the Dead. That's like one of my favorite gun games of all times.
Yeah.
Next to Hogan's Alley. Hogan's Alley's fun too, but yeah, I don't know. The kids weren't fans of this. I'm gonna have to check out some of the other stuff, Brandy, and see why my sound on my PlayStation 1's not working. But I'll be honest, I don't play a lot of PlayStation 1. I really don't. So
it happens. That old technology.
But I feel like it's slow moving, right? Like, so you have this modern gun that you're able to quick shoot, but it doesn't respond as quick. Does that make sense? It's like it's almost like the technology doesn't keep up. There's nothing like Hogan's Alley. Hogan's Alley is the ultimate. That's like, man, I got to get that out again.
I know. I like almost played it the other day because I was going through. Remember, I'm finding all these extra controllers and cables and stuff, and I was like, "What do I have to test that?" And I just threw all the controllers and stuff back. But I was thinking about it, but then it would have turned into like all day just going through all the games playing instead of trying to get some stuff organized.
So that's something else I regret collecting for, or not collecting for, is gun games for these systems. Because now I'm in a position where these games, if you go look some of these games up, now DG probably knows because she collects for the PlayStation stuff. But some of these games, you know, that Resident Evil games, some of those are like 30, 40, even $50 for those light gun games because apparently they're rare. They're hard to find.
Yeah, try spending $400 on House of the Dead for Sega Saturn because
Yeah,
it's the
no,
last
how about
light gun
no?
game you needed.
No.
I did that because I needed that game.
Well, okay, but just to play it to do a review, like, no, I'm not feeling it. But anyways,
Not
neither here nor
worth
there.
it.
I'll keep you guys abreast of any of the new games that I get. If you guys think of any good games for the PS2, I don't know if I want to go PS1. Just my preference. I don't think the kids would want to do that. Send me a message, leave me a comment of a game that you think I should pick up. That's a good light gun game for PS2.
I'll send them all to you. I'll send it like right now. Ninja Assault. There's like Vampire Knight.
Well, leave it in the comments below so I can read.
They're all good because I have all the big boxes.
No, I'm curious because I want to get some of them. I'm going to go check out. I'm going to check that out.
I
this
probably
week.
even did a video.
There's one game, Brandy, that I really wish I beat the game. I don't know if anybody's beat the game. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for the NES. I regret I had that complete in box growing up. I regret not keeping it because it's one of the hardest games to find right now for the NES. Like I can find it at a convention here and there, but finding a decent copy of it, very, very hard. DG saying Dead Aim. Did you play that game?
Yeah, that one's
I'll have to check that one out.
I think that was another one that's hard to find.
Listen,
any of the Resident Evil ones are a little bit more challenging. It
Um,
has like a different label, like on it, like the cover. It stands out.
Okay. So Reggie asked if I sold it. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I don't think I sold it. I think I lent it out to a friend and never got it back. So back in the day, you know how that went. You lend out a game and the friend moves away or you move away or you go somewhere and everybody just kind of forgets that you gave the game out. And that's kind of
why
what
you don't
happened.
give things out.
That's what kind of happened. My one cousin got my Dreamcast like that. Or not my Dreamcast, my Game Gear.
It's always a cousin.
Yeah, he was going on a trip, and I was on my way to college, and my dad was like, "Oh, can you let him borrow it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll let him borrow it." Never got it back. To this day, never got it back. All my games. So I ended up having to buy all of it all over again. Yeah, it was a bad. No, Reggie, you're 100% right, man. It was a bad game. It was one of the worst. But once you figured out how to play the game, it kind of made you want to continue on. But I ended up beating the game. So that's one that I regret because I really need to get that game for my collection. All right.
Yeah, one game I do not enjoy, and I have not played it again since.
Oh, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, it's kind of like it reminds me a little bit of Keith Courage. You know how like you play through a level as that little ninja guy, and then you turn into this mech monster in the next level, and then you turn back into the guy. Kind of reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit the way the game plays. Anyways, let's see. We actually got a video this week, Brandy.
Yes.
From Mr. Ted Adam Green. We're gonna see what he has to say about some of his biggest regrets. So let's take a listen and look. And hopefully I don't blow your ears out. But let me know in the chat if I do.
Hello, I'm Chris Sebastian from Play It Games, Movies, and Music, serving Central Ohio with 3 locations. You are watching Game Master.
What are your thoughts?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
Hey there, Game Masters. Great topic this week. Though there's only one that got away from me, what console got away from me, and that was the ColecoVision. I grew up on Pong, and then I had Atari 2600, so our parents did take good care of us. But the ColecoVision at the time was just a little too expensive. It was the first console where every single game seemed to be taking the arcade to your house. 2600 had that with a few. Some it did not, as we all know with Pac-Man 2600. But as was clear from the start with Donkey Kong, you basically had the arcade game at home. And I always wanted that, but we weren't able to get that. But more specifically, Zaxxon, that's my favorite game of that era. And then in the years that passed, when I did get enough money, they weren't available anymore. We didn't have venues for getting used items like we do now. But thankfully with Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and other avenues, I might be able to go back and get that. I don't know that it'll have the same impact that it would have back then. But to be able to go back and get things is a wonderful thing. I just recently got this 31.5-inch CRT off Facebook Marketplace for $30. And it's absolutely fantastic. I'm playing Sega Genesis Vector Man, my favorite console game of all time. And maybe one day, thanks to all these wonderful used avenues and even the retro gaming stores, I might be able to have that Zaxxon Coleco on the original. So you never know. It's never too late to start collecting what you always wanted to do. But y'all have a great day, and everybody, game on. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Stephen. Keep it going.
All right. So ColecoVision, Brandy.
Yes.
He regrets. I didn't really, you know what? I don't have a ColecoVision. That's one system I don't have. A friend of ours had that, and that's when I played Donkey Kong for the first time because it was better than the Atari 2600 version, in my opinion.
They're hard to find, like the power cables and stuff. I was always told to always keep that, even if it like breaks or something, just because some of that stuff is like hard to find, the originals, and someone might be able to like repair some of that stuff. But I did actually get one of those, I guess early on, because they have they have like different adapters and stuff for it. So I remember getting that kind of early on and collecting over again. But obviously I didn't have it when it came out.
No, I didn't have it either. Well, didn't they remake like this, what was it, the 7800 Plus? Didn't they do a ColecoVision like that too? Where you could get did they make I thought they made a mini ColecoVision that you could get. Because I was at Cracker Barrel. The reason I'm bringing this up, I was at Cracker Barrel last week.
Oh, and they have a whole section.
They have a section of all mini consoles, and I was like, I never seen that before. I almost bought the T-shirt too, but I was with friends, and I didn't want to be like.
I thought about that too.
I was gonna get. Did you see the Pac-Man? Pac-Man. Yeah, I was gonna buy that shirt. I was like, wow, that's actually a good shirt. And I was like, I don't want to look like a nerd in front of my friends, even though they all know I'm into this stuff and they know I have a game room. But I was like, I totally wanted to like buy a lot of the stuff that was there. So
same.
So I told my wife we'll go back, but they had a console, right? You saw? I swear I thought it was the Coleco.
I didn't like pay attention, but there were like a couple like little boxes of like looked like mini.
Help us out, chat room. Is there a mini Coleco, kind of like they did the Atari, like a modern retro console, right? Where they did this Atari, what is it, the 7800 Plus? They did. Oh, he said the Germ said they did. It came with a keyboard. See, I knew. I remember seeing it. So I'm gonna have to go back to Cracker Barrel now. I was floored. It's really like a country western restaurant. If you've never been to Cracker Barrel, they have a gift shop. They have a gift shop in front of the restaurant. If you don't have a Cracker Barrel where you're at, it literally is like redneck city. Like you go in there and it's like people in camo. I mean, it's like you don't expect to see video games there. Like.
Yeah, you really don't, because they have like Christmas ornaments. They have like different knickknacks, just holiday decor. They have Christmas trees around the holiday.
Oh my goodness,
it's so much.
They got anything you could think of. But anyways, so I was gonna get one, but now I got to get one now. I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to get one. So now I'm not crazy. You saw it too. Because remember we were talking. We both went to Cracker Barrel the same day, and we both didn't know we were going. You're like, yeah, I'm going to Cracker Barrel tonight. I'm like, no way. So are we. We're going with some friends.
That's too crazy.
So anyway, so thank you again, Ted Adam Green, for sending that in, and we hope more of you guys, Reggie, and some other people out there, Sean, and some of the other viewers that are out there, DG, would send in some videos, maybe of your game room or some things that you want to promote or that pertains to the topic we're talking about. It would be awesome to throw that out there. All right, what do we got here from Ted? What's he saying over here? He says there's also a ColecoVision flashback too. See, that's what I'm talking about. I thought there was one.
Okay.
And they were at Cracker Barrel last night and bought the micro Tetris for my daughter for $25, and I can't see what the other part of the comment is that he wrote. You have to look in your chat.
Very interesting.
So there's a lot of cool stuff. So now, everybody, if you don't have a Cracker Barrel, you need to find a Cracker Barrel and go to it. He likes giving me a hard time in the chat room. You notice this? This is the radical one giving me Steven's favorite song of all time is a song called Virtual Insanity by, I don't even know how to say that name, but I'll take his word for it. Okay. He said he puts in grooves into the song. Okay. All right, Reggie. So I might try to see. I know my wife's. My daughter and my wife are getting her hair done tomorrow night. So maybe at some point this weekend we make another trip to Cracker Barrel. Nice. Why? To get Pac-Man stuff. Because that's what we do. All right. Anyways, do we know who? Did anybody put a topic in here for next week? I know we got a bunch of topics that we can yap about that you guys suggested. But if there's a topic, put it in the chat room right now while Brandy tells us about what's coming up. What are you doing? Any videos?
Yeah. So I just did a new video. I found some really fun stuff on Facebook Marketplace for an amazing deal.
Amazing.
And I wanted to give back to you guys. So you guys don't even have to do anything except just watch the video and comment in there what your favorite Pokemon is or your favorite Pokemon memory, and you can possibly win Pokemon Pinball, complete in the box for the Game Boy Color, because I already had it. I picked up a game. I don't want to resell it. I wanted to give it back to you guys. You know, that's what this is about. You can watch us buy stuff for our game rooms all the time, but I really wanted to do a different little series here where I take my own money and I do terrible business and I just give stuff back to you guys. So I'm excited for it, and I hope that I get lucky and find some more fun stuff. And, you know, maybe someone out there who loves Pokemon who doesn't have that game will really appreciate it, because, you know, I loved it. I used to play it, and when I bought my copy a long time ago and paid a lot more than what I got this for, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, and I think it's a ton of fun. And I'm curious if you guys, you know, find deals like that. So just let me know and stay tuned for that, because I'm getting together a video on like my journey of, you know, completing this Nintendo 64 worldwide set. And just stay tuned for the Vectrex homebrew video review, some other stuff, and yeah, just going forward.
So we got a couple. If you want a screenshot, Daryl says, "What's the best deal you have ever gotten in a lot?" That's a good one.
Topic, right?
And for topics. And DG says maybe talk about game genres, like why we like certain genres. I like that one too. Let's talk about that. Anybody else has them? Throw them in the chat room, because we'll see them also afterwards.
Yeah.
Because after all, this is for us. It's not just, you know, we'll do our research and bring up some things and look at it. But I actually have a video that I'm hoping to get out. I have a few of them actually that I got to get done. I will have that gun review. Depending if I can get those games this weekend, that'll determine whether or not I can get that review done in the next week. But I have some other videos that I want to do. And speaking of which, Brandy informed me just a little bit ago that I did hit my 20,000 subscriber mark, I guess, during the show. I saw earlier I was getting close. I was within like 30 subscribers earlier today.
Yes.
And it seemed like, Brandy, for the last little bit, it was dragging. Like, I was growing there for a bit, right? Like, it was going quick. And I feel like the last 500, from like 19,500 to 20,000, went super slow compared to the other ones. So thank you guys for getting me to this huge milestone. I'm pretty excited. Now, what's the next milestone that we go to? Is that 30,000? Like, or is that just like a or is 40,000 the bigger one?
25,000,
25,000?
30,000.
Okay.
I think every 5. Like
Every
I mean,
5? Is that
really,
what we're
every
doing?
1,000.
Is that what we do?
Every 1,000 is great.
So
I mean, every little bit.
5,000. All right. So onward to 25,000. And what I think I'm going to do, somebody had left in a comment. I don't know who it was, Brandy, but somebody left in a comment. I'm going to do it on one of my shorts this week. Okay. So you guys want to pay attention and watch my shorts. I think what I'm going to do is, since I got to send some of these out, I got to send one to Project Retro Games. I got to send a Sonic out to him. And then I have to send this out, this 3D Tanuki Mario out to our good buddy Daryl. I think if somebody would like one, if you would want a Sonic, or if you would want a Mario, or even one of the Game Boy kiosks, for hitting 20,000, onward to 25, we can do a giveaway. I'll send you out a 3D print for your game room. What do you guys think?
Cool.
Do you think that would be a fun giveaway? Would you guys even want something like that?
I think that's fun. That's a great idea.
I'll send you one of those. It just has to be in the U.S. because it'll cost more than it's actually worth to send it overseas. I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you're overseas, but with tariffs and everything like that, it'll actually end up costing more. So, but I think we could do something. Somebody else said best peripherals.
Mm-hmm.
Retro AF. Now I could go unsubscribe. But yeah, we could do something like that, and I'll put in my shorts. Oh, that sounded really weird. In my videos that I do that are shorts, I will put in how you're gonna win one of those 3D prints, and we'll give it out to you. And it's all CC Games' fault because he got me into 3D printing. So, best deal I got was for getting my Mario statue for free. I bought all the statues from you. Well, my kid did too. We bought. I still like CC Games' statues. Oh, if you want to send me a Game Boy kiosk, there we go. There's Daryl. I knew that was coming. Yeah, let me perfect it a little bit more, Daryl. Before I got you. You know I got you. You and I are working some stuff, so let me perfect some things with the Game Boy kiosk before I send that out to anybody. If anybody knows how I do, and CC Games will tell you, when you print something, the first one I always keep in my game room, at least till I make a better one, because the first one doesn't always come out the best. Because you're still tweaking things, and I was surprised though, Brandy, how clean that other one came out. I really was. So I know they're giving me crap now with the phrasing. You guys know what I meant. It's not my fault that they call them shorts. Jeez, give me a break here, guys. Come on. Oh, you're his retail Mario. He got that one. The one that you have with the finger pointing up. I guess it's the Toys R Us Mario?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, he got that and you would like a Star Fox 3D printed controller and phone holder. I'll have to look and see if there's something like that. I'm sure I could probably try to find something like that. Now, mind you, I am going to have some of this stuff at the conventions. And so if you have trades for like games and you want to trade for some of these 3D print items that I have there, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm not really looking to make a business out of this. I'm just trying to. Some of the people have been trading me stuff for my game room and stuff that I needed, and I was like, well, yeah, it kind of works out. So, we are going to wrap this up, but I really appreciate how my shelf is. No, I still have all my stuff here. It's all up. I keep all my stuff. I have a hard time getting rid of it. But we will be back next week. Make sure to like, subscribe, and also, I can't believe we almost forgot to do this, Brandy. We didn't tell you guys, but our website is up.
Yes.
If you go to thegamemasters.tv, you will be now at our brand new website, and it has the podcast all on there, and you can subscribe to the podcast. Thegamemasters.tv. You can also get to our YouTube channels from here. Brandy's is at the top. Mine is at the top here. But you can scroll down. You can listen to the latest episode of the podcast. And you can also come down and you can meet the Game Masters and go down here, and you can see all the other podcasts that we have available to you. All you have to do is go to thegamemasters.tv. We got to get that put on shirts and stuff, Brandy, when we do that. So we'll figure out a topic for next week. You'll have to watch social media for that. And if you didn't see the blooper at the end, make sure you stick around for it, because there's a brand new blooper at the end of the video. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good rest of your night.
How much more I can actually fit into this shower here. I feel like I have plenty of room to go ahead and put more stuff. Wait, why are you guys here? You guys aren't supposed to see this. I'm not doing anything in here. This isn't storage. You guys need to get out of here. Go home. Go, get out of here. Stop watching. You don't need to see anything in here.
Occupied. I said it's occupied. What are you guys doing? I gotta go. You gotta go. The show's over. Go. I gotta go.